Hello, thanks for tuning in and welcome to my channel. And I'm going to be talking about the free bus pass, which I qualified last year as somebody who's over 60 in Scotland, and what it's been like traveling on the bus. I normally use the train, but obviously free bus travel is quite an enticement to actually use the bus service. So I live about 25 miles from Glasgow, and I suppose the only time I really use my bus pass, more or less, is for traveling into Glasgow. I go in maybe once or twice a month. In the past, I've used the train and paid about £9 return, which, is quite a good price, and the train journey is about sort of 35-40 minutes from where I live. And I've had no trouble with it really, except for one occasion when I found that the trains had been cancelled coming back, and I ended up going to the bus station and paying actually more than the cost of a return ticket for one way back to where I live in Scotland from Glasgow. Okay, yeah. So anyway, here it is. That's what it is. The Saltire card, they call it. And I didn't actually apply for it straight away because I thought, well, I've got a car and I only usually go into Glasgow once a month, so I won't bother. But then I thought, well, what the heck? You never know. I might actually take up traveling around Scotland on the bus. Who knows? So yeah, I got the card, and so far I've used it approximately once a month going into Glasgow. Yeah, now I suppose that the big difference, of course, if you compare the comfort of a train with a bus, hands down, a train has got to win. I can give you several reasons why this is the case. Obviously, not least that one can get up and walk around on the train in a way that you can't really on a bus. It's a lot more spacious on a train. There's more room, and the temperature control is a lot better on a train than it is on the bus. I've been in situations in the summer on the bus where I don't know why the air conditioning hasn't been on, but it's been absolutely blazing hot on the bus on the top deck. It depends which kind of bus you get. Some have only got one level, some have got two decks, but I learned from that, if it's a hot day on the bus, go downstairs where it's likely to be cooler, less stuffy. So that's been a minor quibble. I wouldn't complain too much because after all, if you're getting free travel, what can you say? Passengers, fellow passengers. Well, obviously, by and large, I've had no trouble at all with any passengers. I've had some good conversations on the bus with people, and I've only ever had problems once, oddly enough, last week, strangely enough, coming back from Glasgow. The bus was packed, which between 5 and 6 in the afternoon it usually is, and a young man came and sat down next to me. I've got no problem with that. He sat down. He was sort of wearing a hoodie type garment, and I noticed he was playing around with his phone and he was taking photos of himself, etc. However, about a third of the way into the journey, I noticed he suddenly started fidgeting a lot and making some strange movements. Now, there was a passenger at the back of the bus with two babies, two young children, and they were crying and they were making a noise. It seemed that this young man was having trouble dealing with that. Internally, I was having trouble dealing with it as well because it was quite noisy. The children were in a lot of discomfort and obviously wanted off the bus. I don't blame them. And however, the young man sitting next to me, he was like this. He was kind of every time the baby cried, he was putting his hands up to his ears. He was going, mm. He was like that. And then it would settle down, and then they would go, and he go, mm. He was like that. And he got so desperate at one time, he even banged his phone on the chair of the guy sitting in front. I mean, I absolutely understand. Babies cry. I mean, what can you do? And if babies are on a bus, you've just got to deal with it. The journey's not going to last forever. But as I was wincing inside and showing no external demonstrations of my discomfort, this young man was making quite a big fuss, and I was feeling more uncomfortable about sitting next to him than the children. Fortunately, we got close to the bus station, the terminus, and he actually moved to the front of the bus to get away from the noise of the children, and I felt more happy about that he was out of my way than that the children were crying or stopped crying or anything like that. Yeah, so that's the first time really where I've encountered anything like that on a bus. In the past, when like 40 years ago, when I used to travel by bus, I mean, my God, I've got so many stories about bus travel, but I'm not going to get into those. So I guess if I keep traveling by bus, I will be able to tell more of these stories. But I mean, all I can say, it's been absolutely fabulous on the whole to be able to travel around on the bus. I went to the Netherlands in June, and I spent a few days there, and I was able to get free of charge from where I live in Scotland to Edinburgh Airport. I mean, what can I say? There and back, absolutely free of charge. When, I mean, how much would it have cost me otherwise? So it's a marvelous privilege for the over 60s in Scotland to have free bus travel. Now in England they do it too, but I think it's from when you retire. So if you come to Scotland, it's like you get 7 years of extra free bus travel. One of the pros of living in Scotland, definitely. If you're my age, you get free bus travel. So yeah, of course I still drive because I go away at weekends and spend the weekend with my partner who lives 30 miles away, and it's not convenient to get there by bus. Plus when I go to her, I mean, I drive around, we go out for days out, and so bus travel for days out really is not such a good idea, specifically if you're going and walking in the countryside, that kind of thing. It's nice to have a car. But I do appreciate my free bus pass, definitely. Okay, well, thanks for watching. This is my first video on this channel, the middle-age experience, I call it. So yeah, you're going to be seeing the world through the eyes of myself, middle-aged guy, living on his own in Scotland. I'll be doing lots of things, commenting on items in the news. I won't be doing politics, I won't be doing religion, but items in the news which are of interest, I'll be reacting to them, and various other things, various scams and health issues. I mean, all sorts of things. Not politics, not religion. I don't do those. I know better. Okay, thanks for watching. My name's Stuart. Bye for now.